You have 4 people running through, and you're over here. What smokes could you throw for this eco round to make them feel a little bit more confident coming through here on C?
Like normally, if they're going garage, I smoke garage window and then I smoke CT.
Okay, and then you want to smoke here?
Yes.
Okay, I don't like this smoke on an eco. This smoke here is essentially doing what? What do you think?
I usually smoke it so that it forces them to like play back and have to like throw util out, whereas we can trade util with util.
Yeah, you throw this smoke to stall out rotations. That's the function of the smoke. In this particular timing, I don't really mind the rotations. I'd rather the smoke be here. And the reason why is that this eliminates this entire right angle. As they're coming out, they only have to look ahead of them, okay? So if they're running in ahead of them like this, the only potential fight they can have is here, maybe here, right? So they're looking straight ahead of that spot. So when they come in, they eliminate this guy, maybe lose one or two guys, and then they keep going through. They eliminate the backside as an angle, and then they look towards CT. If they're coming in. Hello, my name is Worthy, a professional Valorant coach. If you're looking to climb the ranks and improve your overall gameplay, you definitely want to leave a like and a sub, and enjoy the video. So in this round, we get this kill, and we know that they're coming from CT lower. My instantaneous reaction was for you to pop this flat and throw it towards CT lower, because they're probably going to be pushing on there, and then afterwards you have your smokes that you can be throwing on as well. So you decide to throw a smoke first, which is not wrong, but with where people are going to be, based on the mental projection of understanding that we rushed off the hop and someone died instantaneously. We always want to think about the path to victory is through the eyes of the opponent. As soon as this chamber sees 3 people going A, what's he calming?
Faster.
Yeah, he's calming that they're probably going to be rushing A. So how does that affect everyone on the map? Think about it this way. Maybe there's 1 C, 1 garage, 1 B, and 1 short, which is actually what it is. So we have 1, 1. So 1 player, 1 player, 1 player, 1 player, 1 player. So there's going to be a certain amount of time that's going to take for this B player to rotate to CT lower, or even to get to default right here. And we can have that mapped up in our head as long as we're making a mental projection of where we think people are going to be at the start of the round. So if he calms that, everyone starts running over. It's going to take a certain amount of time for all of them to get there. Fade just threw that from here. You could hear that throw. So we have Omen here, Jet here, Jet's now dead, and then Fade's in the connector. So Omen's already out, could be backside. And there's another one. So we have Neon, who rotated fast. That also throws off timing whenever you're playing against a Neon, but they're already out there at that point. Okay, so this next round is your role as a controller. We're gonna follow up with your smokes, your positioning of smokes and whatnot. And this is where I might consider telling you, it might be a good idea to switch roles when you're playing ranked, just because it doesn't flow the same way as a scrim, right? When you're playing controller, you're kind of handcuffed to supporting the whole team. Right, you're gonna take this fight, totally fine, right? Meanwhile though, your team is running into garage without a smoke. Watch how your team will now stop in garage because they don't have a supporting smoke or set a smoke towards C. So just watch the mini-map.
Yeah, hit 78.
See how they're stalling right now? Had we had smokes up, even if we had a smoke like right here to take away some of the long range fights and allow them to path in through here, that would enable them more. And that's sort of the things that there's nothing wrong with your play, but because you're handcuffed to this role where you need to enable everyone else and make their lives easier, sometimes you may miss that. Does that make sense?
That's weak, serious.
So see how they're hesitating? This is a lack of enabling. It's not an easy thing to pick up. Sometimes we're just like, oh, it's just like they're just not doing anything. If you're thinking about from their perspective, they're scared shitless. Nobody wants to run through here and face like 300 different angles. You need to be someone who's like doesn't give a shit to actually do that. So to make their lives easier, to eliminate that fear, that's where you come in as a controller. The key is that you're ascendant. So you've already made it to the show, in my opinion. You've made it to the show. Right? Immortal is the show, if you will, but you're right there. So you've done some good things to get yourself here. We want you to be critically thinking, not just throwing smokes because you're throwing smokes or because you've seen someone throw a smoke. We need to be thinking about why we're throwing certain smoke. For example, that one I was talking about on A site, right? How many times have you seen someone throw a smoke here? Not very often, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does this do for a Jet running in? It makes it really easy that she only has to cross her place towards in front of her, right?
I did that, like, if I do that, then they have one person hiding in the smoke, and then someone would be like, why would you ever smoke that? I'm, like, trying to be able to cut off at least one angle that you guys have to fight. And they're like, well, it actually got us killed because they just sat in the smoke and peeked out of it.
If they are hiding in a smoke on a gun round, that is a bad play on their part. That's a bad play on their part. If they're hiding in a smoke on an eco round, like let's say you're throwing these smokes on an eco round, smokes are not your friend on eco rounds. You should not be throwing them there. I would definitely default throwing here at that point if you had to throw it, right? But if you're throwing a smoke here and someone lurks into your smoke on a gun round, that's a bad play on the gun round. It's a bad play on the gun round for the defensive, right? So if they make that play and go in there, at the end of the day, they made a good play. These people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? Eliminate them. Just mute the fucks, right?
Okay.
You are going to win rounds if you throw smokes like this, I promise. In here.
Sewers. I'm already tagged. I don't know why. I egoed that.
How are you feeling in that moment?
I was feeling confident about it. You mean after the death or
Before?
before? I was feeling confident that I could kill this guy. Sewers. Especially because we heard the flash. I was like, this guy cannot see.
Why not open with a flash to be
With
sure?
my own?
Yeah. Why not invest it?
Because we already flashed it with Sky. So I thought, why waste mine?
Do you know for sure that that person's blind fully as you're peeking out again?
No, I just thought I had to hold on to my blind for post-plant because I figured that would be more valuable. I'm already tagged.
Okay. If you're going to take this fight again, you throw a flash. It's just that simple.
Right.
Yeah, your direct impact as a controller is living as late into the round as possible. When taking an awkward fight, always consider your utility usage first, or taking a dry fight. This round, this is where I'm going to start challenging you for Omen ult, okay?
I hate the Omen ult.
Why?
Because I feel like they just, like, chase after me when I ult. When I'm playing against an Omen, that ult, I'm running spawn. I do not care. I'm playing, like, retake on site. Because I would rather play retake than get shot from behind and get, like, pinned. Does that make sense?
Okay. First of all, your Omen ult is controlled by you, not controlled by anyone else. If anyone questions your Omen ult, that's their problem, not yours. I don't want you to listen to anyone's bullshit anymore. Anyone saying anything to you on these ranked matches don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Period. Right? You have full control over every single ability that you can do and what you can throw. The big issue right now is that we're not using it. That's the important piece. Okay, so one piece here that's really important whenever you're taking B is that I would recommend leaving one of these sides open and pathing in and taking that control. So what you can do in difference is you could have your smoke like right here or even here, and as you're coming up, flash through here, then take the fight, okay? Because you need to control this if you're going to go for a B plant. I hate B plants. It's like a big no-no for me personally, because oftentimes they go wrong, especially when you're down players. It's just going to create opportunities where they're just going to run through these smoke and try to generate anything, because whenever they're down players, they're going to make some silly play to try to even up the numbers to give themselves a chance. So whenever you plant on B site, it ends up being an equalizer plant. It gets close range fights out of them, all this good stuff. The reason why we win this round is because your Jet actually passed through your smoke to control this whole side. So now you actually have this control into the lane right over here, and then this control into the lane in sight. So the only way they can come from that we will have any information or no information coming from is through your smoke through here, which coincidentally, if you watch what happens, they run through your smoke. See? And good play on them to do that, because the only way they come back into this round to win it, if they're going to commit to it, is by doing this. And that could have gone wrong, right? So the timing of that was really good. What if they killed both of you and then Jet's there and it's a 3v3, or it's a 3v2 all of a sudden, right?
Backside.
Could have been bad.
You are now listening to Strawberry Station.